Hi there, I'm Daryl with My Town Info. If you think Maple Ridge is full of absolute gorgeous beauty, you're right. Look at the Golden Ears Mountains in the background. We've got the Alouette River here. We've got all kinds of natural things. This dikes goes on for miles and miles. We've got heron nests. We've got the Laity Pumpkin Patch. We've got cows. We've got all kinds of natural things. In this interview coming up, you're going to hear from somebody who is at the top of his game when it comes to high tech.
Trevor Hinds is a local YouTube creator with a massive following. I will post his channel and information at the end of the interview. I caught up with him going to work in a studio tucked away close to a forest out in the country, right here in Maple Ridge. On his channel, you'll find content on just about everything from self-improvement, grieving, and so on, including practicing celibacy. That's right, you heard it, practicing celibacy, how good it's for you. So, tune in and let's have a listen.
Now you feel fear, you feel intimidation, now you feel procrastination. And guess what? 1 year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by, and you haven't even made a step.
People can tune in with foresight, hindsight.
This is self-mastery, baby.
I think in hindsight,
They give you an hour. That's actually an honor.
My God, in hindsight?
I said, well, you know, I have to listen to the rest of my program.
And when I think about that in hindsight, that did calm me down.
That's exactly what I needed. So I was doing a little bit of reading today in my Kindle. Now, I like to absorb a few words, each morning. This is the #1 chill spot on the internet. And today we're simply just going to, we're going to elevate. We're going to set the energy in the right direction. And we're going to play a little bit, We're going to move with our vibration, our energy, even the sound. Even the sound, you understand? We can control that now. We can control that now. Look at that.
He's one of the best kept secrets for high tech that we have in Maple Ridge, I would say. I don't know how many people are doing. How many subscribers did you have? Or
on YouTube, 800,000, and then Instagram, a few 100,000. About like 1.7 million, I think, across all the platforms.
All platforms?
Yeah,
wow.
For sure.
I don't think too many people, YouTubers in Maple Ridge, have that kind of client base.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a hidden secret. Yeah.
Yeah, you are, for sure. Absolutely.
Sure.
Thanks for taking the time, by the way, Trevor.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure. So, what got you into this, Trevor?
Really just a desire to carve my own path. Like when I was younger, I first got into just kind of a little bit of music production. And I kind of hit a stump with that where I felt like there wasn't really any artist in the city that would allow me to expand further beyond my city. So I decided to pick up a camera really just to promote myself, because I'm like, I need a way to get exposure or people to know what I'm doing beyond Vancouver. Mm-hmm. And this is well over 10 years ago. This is like 14 years ago, right before Instagram and before what YouTube was what it was. But once I picked up a camera, I realized I had a natural gift for it. And I started making videos for myself, and other people got very attracted to those. So the musicians and even like Universal Records in Toronto, they're like, who's this guy making... I was making like videos that looked higher budget with like nothing, with like a very low budget camera. So that kind of spawned a new career for me, and I jumped into videography. And I basically focused on music videos and then tour documentaries. Within that first year, I ended up going to Los Angeles and working with this multi-platinum singer. His name is Sean Kingston. He had a really big song called Beautiful Girls. And I would tour the world with him, documenting his travels. And that's kind of like where I first got my feet into the ground at first. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and now your subject matter is completely different from that. Like, what got you into this subject matter that you have?
I think while I was in Los Angeles, the environments I was in, I thought I wanted to be in, and then I realized it just wasn't in alignment. And the subject matter of like the music videos I was shooting, I felt weren't positive. Growing up, like one of my mentors in spirit was Bob Marley, and I just loved how positive he was and like how his music brought people together. So I recognized I was like, I have a gift, which I think is a God-given gift, and I felt like I was using it in a way that wasn't just simply positive. So I had to like kind of just rewind, and I actually sold my camera for a while, and I had no camera. I just took a job editing wedding videos, And I kind of just took that time to like, learn more about myself and like, change the way I eat, the way I think, and kind of just like put all of that stuff on pause. And then naturally, after a few years, I started to get inspired by the microphone and by listening to a lot of podcasts. And I just started to naturally kind of share, my ideas and perspective, and then kind of take my love for sound, my love for video, and now this like new love for podcasting and things like that, and kind of combine it all together. And because of my history shooting so many music videos and like corporate videos and all of that, I had the full production capabilities to do my own stuff at a high quality. So that was kind of neat, because for a while I felt like all of that time went to waste when I decided to quit music videos. I was like, I spent like the last 6 years building this and now I'm not even going to do it. But I realized, in hindsight, a few years later, it came back full circle.
So how many years have you been doing this now?
Since like the first moment I probably started like, making beats, probably like 15 years. Videos I've been doing I'm probably running on my 11th year now. And then turning the camera around onto me, I started about 6 years ago.
6 years, okay.
Yeah, but not like I was, I'm not gonna say I wasn't taking it seriously, but not in the sense where I was making that my career. I was still producing videos for other people, but just more corporate stuff and like different things. And it wasn't until the pandemic where it gave me just more space and time to be like, hey, I actually have time. I'm at home doing nothing now. I don't have all these other projects, doing all this marketing material for everybody else. Let me just focus on what I wanted to do and make my own content and more consistently. And luckily, I think it was just divine timing and alignment, because everyone was inside. Everyone was looking for like a little bit of light, and my content, the algorithms picked it up, put it out there. I already had like at least 100 videos on my YouTube and like, a bunch of podcasts. So when people found it, people just kind of fell in love with it, shared it, and it created like a tsunami effect that year. And I think it was like 250,000 subscribers in the first month where that first video took off. Yeah. Wow. And then since then, that was 3 years ago, it's just been a new space, a new environment, a new aspect of my career now, where it's all on me now, the focus. When before it was me always producing visuals for other people, telling stories or telling businesses, marketing their businesses.
Now you're marketing you.
Yeah, it's all me. Everything's about me right now.
Nothing wrong with that?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure all of your fans on YouTube and Twitch or whoever else you're on probably love what you're doing, right?
Yeah, because it's very community-based, and people feel like I'm very inspired by creating spaces online where people can like go online, get some value, feel good, and then go back offline versus like, watch me, let me steal your attention. So I kind of just create these spaces online where people can come and feel like it's a safe space. I'm like, I'm not going to push you negativity. I'm not going to push you politics. I'm not going to, fear monger you for the clickbaits. I'm just not interested in that, because there's just so much of that. Yeah. And unfortunately, platforms, there's a monetization aspect. So people realize clickbait and fear equals quick dollars and a lot of it. So I just try to offer the balance I can offer for people. And then the people that do find it are always in gratitude.
So what is your YouTube channel then again?
Hindz, Hindz. Yeah,
on YouTube.
Yeah,
so if you want to look
Hindz,
it up on there,
yeah, or Hindsight. Yep.
Hindsight. And how do you come up with new stuff all the time?
Well, I think I'm just a big thinker, observer. Like I was very quiet when I was a kid. I just really didn't talk at all. Like I was just an observer, but I was always like a really deep thinker. So I think once I found a way to like, express myself, I just had a lot of thoughts already. And I'm just like, I just observe a lot, I think. I don't know exactly where all the ideas come from, but I observe a lot, I think a lot, and then I just either write it down or just, get on camera and talk about things. And I think now I'm in a space as well where if you go online, it seems like everything's been said. So I'm kind of more focused now on creating experiences online, where there's a lot more like music involved. Sometimes I even do these streams where people join and it's just, I'll just be working, like writing or working on my business, and they'll be doing the same thing. I'm not even talking. I'm actually just creating this stream so people have like a sense of accountability so they can work on something And it actually is very beneficial for people because I'll be there for like 3 hours and they're like, man, I've been procrastinating this project for weeks, but just being here and everybody in the chat, like, every 45 minutes we'll have like a little tea break. They're like, this really helped me get something done. So versus like talking at people, I'm trying to create experiences with people in the digital spaces because like we spend so much time there. And I think that's going to be the direction I move forward in.
Now, your father's Jamaican?
Yeah, my father's Jamaican. Yeah, from Kingston.
From Kingston, Jamaica. And your mother's from?
Newfoundland.
From Newfoundland.
Yeah.
That's quite a difference in
completely
area
different
worlds of the world.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's given me a unique perspective as well. Growing up in two separate cultures, I find like anything that happens in the world, I'm not very tribal. I'm not very like a polarized individual. I kind of look for like both sides of the story, and I think that comes from my background. Black and white are polar opposites. Jamaican, Canadian are pretty different.
Yeah.
So I kind of got used to always just trying to get to the root of things. And
but your mother, being typically Newfie, and hate to be judgmental on that, is they have a real good sense of humor. Does your mom have a typical Newfie sense of humor?
Does she? I don't know. Actually, she does. My mom moved from Newfoundland when she was about 13.
Oh, okay.
So she moved to Calgary. So I think she kind of lost a lot of the Newfiness.
Okay.
She doesn't have the accent or anything anymore.
Oh, okay.
But like her parents, my grandparents still do and stuff like that.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do have on my dad's side, I have siblings. I have a brother and a sister.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I basically grew up like an only child.
Right.
Like not in the same house, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you told me that you had gone, where was it, to Kenya? Was it the summer past?
Yep.
And you were like a rock star. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what was that all about?
I guess it was just more so, I went to Kenya with YouTube. So they flew me out there. They had like a program where they were supporting basically Black creators internationally. And the end ceremony was in Kenya. So we went there for 3 days to have like a little celebration, network, finally meet each other. But then after that, I'm like, I'm not going to be in Africa for 3 days, so I'm going to stay.
Sure.
Ended up staying a month. And then while I was there, I just recognized, a lot of people recognized me when I was there. They would come up to me and just be like, oh, your content really helped me, especially throughout the pandemic. And then I knew people in Africa were tuning in, but I didn't think it was like that. Because it was like everywhere I went, at least 1 or 2 people were like, hey, I know you. If I went to like a party, people would run up to me, and I was like, wow, this is crazy how the internet can really just, take down borders. And yeah.
It feels really, really good to be here in a room full of Black.
Hold up, let me show you what it looks like when YouTube decides to fly the hottest Black creators from all over the world to Nairobi, Kenya for 3 days. Thank you, YouTube, for supporting so many beautiful Black voices all over the world. That was amazing.
It was a good experience. It's kind of nice because online you can get like a lot of views, but it's different when you meet someone in person.
Yeah.
Right? Like someone coming up to you in the airport feels like 1 million views because it's like real. You see them, their eye contact, you hear their tonality, and you see like the impact or the connection you made with them, even though you never knew they existed, So it's real special. I really appreciate it.
Now, are there other like online guys or creators that you look up to and you follow, or yourself, and you say, you follow them for, just want to see what they're up to?
I think like the people I'm more inspired by are like the generations before me that weren't online. Like, again, I said Bob Marley, and also like Bobby McFerrin is like a big inspiration for me, even though I don't do what they do, but it's just like their philosophy towards their creative mediums and just the way they carried themselves in the world. And they put like a big emphasis on being a positive force. That's what inspired me. Per se, like other online creators, I wouldn't really say there's an actual creator that inspires me right now. But I check out what people are doing. Is there anybody out there? I like Tyler the Creator. He's not like an online creator, but he's a musician, and he creates like also a fashion designer. And I think I like him because he's a one-on-one. I think on the internet, you have a lot of people who just copy each other, and they take apart in trends, which is fine. But like, I don't feel like they've kind of harnessed their own unique style. So the people that I gravitate towards are people who are, I'm like, oh, you're a one-on-one. Like if I see you online, there's nobody else that seems like you. And I think I've done that for myself as well. People are always like, oh, like you're just different online than other things.
That's cool. Now, you told me that you've decided that you wanted to pick up an instrument. Tell me a little bit about that, Trevor.
I think because when I was young, I didn't see myself as a creative individual. I only played sports because I thought like creativity was only like the people who could sing or play an instrument or like naturally draw. And I couldn't sing. I couldn't draw. I suck at drawing. So I didn't really think of myself as a creative person. I just played sports, basketball, track and field, every single sport, golf, all of that. So when I got a little bit older and I got into making music, but, digitally, sampling like hip hop records and stuff, I wanted to make music. I wanted to learn music, but I felt like it was almost too late. I was like 20 years old. I was like, oh, I should have learned when I was 10. So I kind of just focused on production through the computer because I'm like, I recognize I have a really good ear and I could still make what I wanted. But then I kept just delaying, like, oh, it's too late. Then when I was 25, I was like, I should have started when I was 20. Then when I hit 30, finally, I was like, I should have started when I was 25. This past week, I was with a friend who learned the sitar in the last 5 years from nothing, like didn't have no musical experience. So when I saw his devotion, I was like, that's really all it takes. So I was like, okay, I'm finally going to pick up an instrument. But I think what I want to pick up is the handpan. I was telling you that before, just because I don't know, something about the sound to me and just like the design of it. It just seems like something I could dedicate myself to. And have a little bit more fun versus maybe like taking up the piano or something right away. So
It takes a lot of dedication. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I just love the sound of that one. So I think I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. How old are you now?
35.
You're 35.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started young, and it's fantastic. Now I know that I'm sure there's a lot of our viewers are going to be, asking, okay, so how do you get paid?
Well, online there's like the beautiful thing is there's you can create as many opportunities and avenues for yourself to get paid. So on YouTube, they have probably one of the best monetization methods if you just want to get paid off of your views. So YouTube does a 50-50 cut with you. Basically, they put ads into your videos or before your videos, after your video. And whatever that generates at the end of the month, they, deposit a check into your bank account. Also, somebody at my level, a lot of brands want to work with. So a lot of brand sponsorships, collaborations. Like I also did 1 year on the radio for TikTok radio. So there's another opportunity. And then also products is something I'm getting more into. So physical products, digital products. And then we also have now a member-based community that we just launched. And we're also going to do some merchandising. So there's like, as a creator, the cool thing is once you have a community, it's up to you now to get creative and how you want to monetize and what's in alignment for you. And every single creator you talk to is going to have like a different method. Yeah. But there's definitely, you can do like quite well, like even from like 50,000 subscribers to like where I'm at, someone could be making $100,000 to even $1 million a year plus more. I know someone who has 2 million subscribers or maybe 3 million subscribers. He's doing 4 million a year right now, majority off of his course and then his YouTube AdSense.
Have you thought about doing a course?
Yeah, it's something we're working on. So we have a membership-based community that's kind of for like creators. So it's like me mentoring creators, and also a lot of people ask me how I do my production. Then we're also going to be developing a course after that around creativity and things like that. So the route I'm trying to take more is more my own ecosystem. So products and digital products versus relying on YouTube's ecosystem, which is like very ad heavy.
Yeah, that's annoying too. I mean,
It's
if you're watching, it's super
yeah.
annoying unless you're subscribed to YouTube, right? So
Well, yeah, I don't see ads myself because I just have YouTube Prime,
Right,
Because
yeah.
I hate watching ads, but I can understand the annoyance of someone watching my content and then there's ads in it. So
Yeah.
that's why we're also opening up other avenues and things like that.
now you mentioned about TikTok radio. You ever thought about doing Siri, like radio? Sirius radio, I should say.
Yeah, it was on Sirius.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was on Sirius XM. So
Oh,
their own
okay.
channel on Sirius XM. That was for a year. That was cool. It was a good experience, but unfortunately, like it's not like I could play the music I wanted to play. So that inspired me to I kind of have my own radio show online and stream, and I kind of even brought it to TikTok. So majority of what I do now is kind of online streaming. I still make videos, but a lot of it I'm just streaming into the internet now and having viewers tune in live
Oh,
because that's just more exciting to me right now.
yeah.
And I think I just like the community aspect, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So, yeah.
That's great. So, do you know anybody locally that's, right in the Maple Ridge area here that you, have any kind of contact with, or know that they're actually, have large subscribers or doing something similar to you?
No, not out here, but I'm sure there might be. Like, there's definitely people in Vancouver.
There are or aren't?
Oh, there are, yeah,
Are there
for
lots?
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like the creator economy is so big now. So many people. There's one girl in Vancouver that's quite popular. I forget her name. And then there's another girl who has an architecture channel that's pretty big now. It's 1 million subscribers. And she was an architect and then she pivoted to full time on YouTube. So there's people. The cool thing is people have big audiences for like the weirdest things. It's like I met one guy who actually did some fishes out of the Fraser River, and he's got a massive audience on TikTok out of that.
Oh, wow.
And teaches people about just the Fraser River and the sturgeons, I think.
Sturgeon, yeah.
About that. I've come across couples who have couple channels who just do pranks on each other in Vancouver, and they get like brand deals. Their brand deals would be like $40,000 for one TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to anybody that's saying, like we were talking earlier too, sorry, before I get to that question, we were talking earlier about now with so easy to create videos and, and to edit and all that kind of stuff and to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because you've been going for so long, but so somebody out there, maybe you want to speak to the camera and say, well, if you want to do this, this is sort of the steps you have to do.
Yeah, if you want to do this, the good thing is all the information is actually out there. When I started, YouTube wasn't what it is now. So like if I wanted to learn something, I kind of had to just learn in the field or like read a manual, and I'm just not the type of person to read a manual. But now you go on YouTube and you have like billions of creators giving you the information in an entertaining way, right? Like every single piece of equipment, like this mic right here, 50,000 reviews on this mic, high quality people giving their advice. So I always tell people like the only excuse is the excuses we give ourselves, and the only thing in the way is ourselves. It's our own limitations, right? It's our own fears.
Absolutely.
It's, nobody is going to be interested in me,
No.
or why would everyone tune into? Like everybody starts at zero. Like every single person that starts a YouTube channel actually starts with 0 subscribers. But it's actually easier now to grow ever than it was before. I see people start now within 1 year, have 100,000 subscribers and a new career, just because the creator economy is massive, and they say by 2027 it's going to be worth close to $1 trillion or $500 billion.
Wow.
That's how much money, because majority of the money used to go into TV.
Yeah.
Now the money's going online, and it's
Right.
going to the people who have audiences.
They're actually,
Right, like a single person like me or like another creator, there's creators who are pulling in more viewership than CNN, and they're just in their bedroom talking about what they did for the day, and they're pulling in bigger views than CNN. So the times have changed, and like,
yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
and you don't need a lot. Like you can really just do it with your phone. That's the interesting thing. Most people do stuff with their phone. I'm just old school, so I got all this. But like most people just do it with their phone.
Yeah,
And that's all you need.
So this is interesting studio. Why do you like this environment here?
Well, it's just a unique structure. I like the location. It's like, tucked away. It's like, just a nice little forest there. And I think it just already matches my vibe. Like, I was telling you the other day, this the way the roof is, these tiles back here are so beautiful. I like earth tones. Anyone that watches my videos can tell that. Like even like this desk kind of reminds me of that, right?
Yeah.
So to me, the studio matched my spirit already. And I remember when I blew up on YouTube, I was struggling a lot to make content in my house because I lived right beside the train, and my neighbor would wash his car right outside my window. It was just so noisy. And I remember like that day, I like literally like was like praying. I was like, I need a studio. Like I need something that's just like close. But I'm like, there's nothing in Maple Ridge. I'll never find something in Maple Ridge. It's only Vancouver.
Right.
And then that day I just like, I was like, wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
So thank you.
God answers prayers pretty fast.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because, you know, again, a lot of people are curious about how, you know, you guys do this, you know, the dedication to it. I'm sure the dedication, that's really the number one thing, right? You can't just do this and expect to get a million subscribers overnight because you put out some fantastic revelation on something, right?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, you know, you may come across some stories where someone blew up very fast, but that's a unicorn and you should not expect it. Like, again, I've been doing this a very long time. It takes a lot of devotion. Even at the point I am, I'm still devoted like a lot of hours. It's a journey, and it does take a lot of work. And the hardest part is the consistency.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately the internet moves fast. So you may make something, it may do well, but then what's next?
Right.
It's the kind of like, you know, the thing. So it does take a lot of dedication. It can take a toll on a lot of people's mental health. You see a lot of creators burn out, or you even see a lot of people leaving because they're just like, the demand is too much.
Wow.
Right. So it doesn't even have to be a thing where it's your full-on career. It could be something you do on the side for your expression, maybe to make a little bit of money or not. It's just, you have to decide what it is for you. For me, I'm a crazy person, so I like the pressure, you know, and I like seeing how far I could take things. So I go through my ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I've been dedicated since I graduated high school to carve out my own path. I knew a regular pathway wasn't going to be for me just because it just didn't match me. So I was like, I'm gonna carve my own way somehow, some way. And we're still doing that. So,
and then there's the good Lord looks after you, right?
Yeah, I've been blessed. It took a long time, but I've been blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you give, and I think it's better to give than receive. And sometimes when you do give, a lot of people don't realize how incredibly important it is to give of yourself, because you do receive, you will receive. You can receive back because you know, everybody today, we're so naturally born to be selfish, right? Mm-hmm. But when we give and we're selfless, that's when the power really begins to flow for community.
Yeah.
And for mankind, right? Because you're taking away from you're giving in to other people, but you're also allowing them to grow and not be worried about, you're not worried about what you're doing for them, but you're just concerned about what you think you can do, right? I mean, that's kind of I don't know.
That's the realization I had that allowed me to make that shift. When I was kind of doing the music video stuff, it was more so for myself in the sense of like, let me get my clout. It's kind of my ego. It's kind of like, look at me. Let me try to get like kind of famous type of thing, get my money versus, and it didn't even feel good, right?
No.
Once I kind of got there in a way. And then when I made that shift and I found out that I had value in myself that I could give, it took time to harness that value and believe in it. And then I brought that into the world. And then it's not like it was received right away, but it was received at some point. But the beautiful thing was, my intention has always been, the reason why I do this has always been also my own self-development. You know, I learned a lot through my creative process. You know, I learned a lot about my own ego, you know, how to give to others, you know, my own self-doubts, how to overcome those. I've learned how to be confident, how to express my confidence through what I do. I wasn't comfortable being on camera when I first got on camera, but you know, it allows me to learn about myself and then at the same time be in service to others, because I believe creatives, artists have a responsibility to bring light into this world, because there's already so much darkness and unfortunate things that happen that sometimes people just need a moment, even if it's a heartbeat, just to like have hope again.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're supposed to do. So
absolutely. If we bring light into the world, that's what it's all about. Well, Trevor, thank you so much for your time. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say to the people there as we're closing down.
You could just check me out online, Hindz on pretty much every platform. And I definitely recommend anybody that's, you know, thinking about getting into content creation or just, you know, expressing an idea or a gift that they have. The world is simply waiting.
That's right. Well, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.